The Man in the Cadillac. I was 7 years old when I first understood what real fear was. Not the fear of the dark, not the fear of imaginary monsters under my bed. This was something else, a fear that grips your chest so tightly you can't breathe, a fear that paralyzes you, a fear that stays with you even when you think you're safe. And it all started with a car. The first sign. It was a warm afternoon, the kind where kids played outside until the streetlights flickered on. I had just left school, hopping onto my bike like I did every day. The ride home was short, only a few blocks. Nothing about that day should have been different. But then I noticed an old Cadillac moving slowly down the street. Too slowly. At first, I thought maybe the driver was lost. But as I turned a corner, the car followed. My stomach tightened. I turned another corner. The car followed again. That's when I knew this wasn't a coincidence. I gripped my handlebars tighter, my fingers sweaty against the worn rubber grips. My heart started to pound. Something was wrong. I risked a glance over my shoulder. The driver was an older man. Thin, balding, strands of grayish hair clinging to his scalp. His face was lined with deep wrinkles, his mouth slightly open, like he was muttering something to himself. But what terrified me the most were his eyes. I couldn't see them, not fully. They were hidden behind dark sunglasses, but I could feel them on me. Cold, calculating, hungry. Then he rolled down the window and spoke. "Hey, kid, stop. Get in the car." His voice was deep, rough, like gravel scraping against metal. Something about the way he said it made my skin crawl. It wasn't a question. It was a command. Run. The thought screamed in my head, loud and urgent. Run. I didn't think. I just pedaled. Hard. The chase. The Cadillac's engine roared as it picked up speed. I could hear the tires crunching against the pavement, hear the low growl of the engine as it crept closer. I pedaled as fast as I could, my legs burning, my breath ragged. My heart was pounding so hard I thought it might burst. I turned onto my street. Home was close. I could see my driveway, see my house, my safe place. Almost there. Just a little more. Then the car screeched to a stop behind me. The door slammed open. I didn't look back. I didn't dare. I jumped off my bike and sprinted to the front door. Fingers fumbled at the handle. Locked. Terror punched me in the gut. "Mom!" I screamed. "Mom, open the door." No answer. Then, footsteps. Slow. Deliberate. Getting closer. I turned my head just a little and saw him. The man was standing at the edge of my driveway, staring at me. His sunglasses were off now, hanging from his pocket. His eyes, small, sunken, cold, locked onto mine. He grinned. Then, he moved. Nowhere to run. I dived under my parents' car, my body scraping against the rough pavement. The space was tight, but I pressed myself flat against the concrete, my breath coming in shallow gasps. For a moment, there was silence. Then, a shadow passed over the pavement. I clamped a hand over my mouth, forcing myself to stay silent. Then a hand, large, rough, filthy, reached under the car, scraping my back on the pavement, pushing myself just out of reach. "Come here, you little..." His voice wasn't coaxing anymore. It was filled with rage. I felt his fingers graze my shoe. I kicked. Hard. He cursed, pulling his hand back. I stayed frozen, waiting. Then, silence. I listened, every muscle in my body locked in terror. A car door opened. Then, slam. Tires screeched against the pavement, and he was gone. Aftermath. I didn't move. Not at first. My body refused to come out from under that car. I stayed there, curled up, my heart hammering so hard I thought I might throw up. Then I heard another car pull up, my mom's voice, trembling. I crawled out, my knees weak, my face streaked with dirt and tears. My mom ran to me, confusion turning into alarm when she saw the look on my face. I tried to speak, but my voice cracked. The only words I could manage were, "He tried to take me." The police investigation. The police came. I told them everything. The Cadillac, the man, his voice, his eyes. They searched, but there was nothing. No arrests, no leads. Just a report, buried in a file somewhere. The fear never left. I never saw the man again. But sometimes, late at night, when the streets are quiet and the world is still, I swear I can still hear the low rumble of that old Cadillac's engine. And I still wonder, did he ever find someone else?